Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Some repotting is planned ahead of time. Yeah, pots are put to one side perhaps, ready. Ones that go together, all that sort of stuff. And then there are other times when you're watering your pots and you pick up a plant and you think, if I don't do that now, that plant probably won't be here in a couple of days' time. And this was one of those. Now it's in the cocoa husk, so it was on the list to be repotted, but these have gone soggy. Yeah, this is a Beallara Marfitch something coral, Renaissance coral. I can't read it, I just sort of remembered. And a lot of the plants hanging over the pot, and I think that's what saved it. If it had been in the pot, I think it would have just succumbed. So this is just a matter of, well, that's good because that's just going to come off anyway, and I'm going to take that one off as well and leave myself with 2 back bulbs and 2 leaved bulbs, but I want to cut that off clean because I don't want those ones that are full of liquid. If they burst, then that can get all over everything basically, so I'd rather just trim them off. Like that. Are you going to come out? You going to go out? Go on then. That's the first time Elvis has been outside the door for probably 3 months, and he looks really skitty. He's gone low, he's scouring, so he's not happy. I think he was confronted by, an unknown big cat, and it's just frightened him away from going outside, and he just hasn't been out since. So that's the first time in a long time. So that's good. It's good for him to get out and get some fresh air. So I'm just keeping the eye on him to see what he's actually doing. He's found some grass to eat now. So that's the trouble, when cats don't go outside, they miss their greens. That's right. So that's what we've got. And the trouble is, if I keep that bulb, I'm going to have to bury it. It's quite a solid bulb. It's a sign of there's an eye there, so there's probably a new growth going to come reasonably soon. Now if I keep that bulb, I'm either going to have to plant it on its side or bury that bulb nearly halfway up. So unfortunately, this is a climber basically. There's quite a few of the Oncidium Alliance do that, they just do. So we'll just snip that off. Right, that doesn't leave us with much of a root system, but quite honestly this plant is borderline being lost. I think if it gets in some new media now and the rot is stopped, it will probably recover. I've got some dead roots here, some those soggy papery things that are never going to do anything any sense. Right, he wants to come back in now. I need to do that. If I leave him out there when he wants to come in, then it'll put him off again. So, come on then. As I say, that's the first time he's been outside for a very long time. I mean, I know that once we get to the summer months and everything, and I go and sit outside, they'll both come out and sit with me. And that's what they did last year. So, right, so that's what we've got. Now I've got some of the hard bark here that's it came out of another pot, but it's been dried off. Now I need a smallish pot. Now these pots haven't been washed, but some of them are actually quite clean. Some of them. Some of them aren't. That's about the right size, I think. It's a bit naughty to put a plant in an unwashed pot, really. You take a risk. If there was any infection or virus or anything in the previous plant and you don't sort of wash and sterilise your pots, then you could transfer it. But the chances of anything like that surviving in a bone dry pot with no moisture whatsoever is pretty slim. So I'll just put a couple of bits of the big bark in just to stop the holes getting clogged up. And then I've just got small bark here, that's all it's going to get. Coming off as well. It's coming off because it's in the way, and also it is actually soggy. Did a very good job of that first time round, didn't I? That's better. Right, so let's get these sheaths off as well, because that, I'll say, hopefully there's that new eye will push on there. To take that bract off because that's showing signs of damp, so we'll take that off, and we'll take that one off too. Right, so that's tidied up. Not tidied up that much. That was one of the reasons I wanted to crack on today, is I want to get the hot box on. The problem you get, you see, is when you've got an adult scale that isn't necessarily killed via the hot box, which I would accept that. The little ones hatch out, the crawler stage, and if you leave big gaps between using the hot box, they can get going. You know, I mean, with any luck, they would be killed off before they would breed, but you take a risk. You know, as I said, I want to keep this hot box thing going on a sort of regular basis if I can, and just keep on top of things. It does seem to be working, so right, so that can go in like that. Where's that eye? That's in the middle, so it has to be in the middle then, won't it? So just up to the base of the pseudo bulbs. I expected that to be not very steady, so we'll need a stake for that, and just clip it to one of the bulbs. Oh. That's the easiest one there, because then it'll go down the side. It should stay there okay. What have we got then? I sliced my finger off the other day with one of these clips. One of these metal clips like this, one of the, where's the camera? One of these had broken off and it had left like a razor sharp edge. Of course I got hold of it and squeezed it like that and dug it right into my finger. It nearly went through. We nearly had the red stuff coming out. Yeah. We had a little chat about it and then put it down to look what you're doing. Right, that should stop that wobbling about. Doesn't have to be perfect, and hopefully those roots will start growing. So a good soak now, and put to one side in a sort of shadier area, although virtually everywhere is shaded, quite honestly, because the sun doesn't touch it. Not too long, I don't know how long, because I can't remember what it was like at the beginning of last year when. I could look back through some videos, I suppose, but at some point in the not too distant future, the sun is going to start, it moves that way, it rises farther this way each day, yeah? And there'll come a point where it's high enough in the sky to come through that gap, and it lights up the whole of the side of the greenhouse for about half an hour to an hour. Really bright sun straight through the glass, and at that time of day, this is early in the day, the plants really appreciate it. Right, so there we go, an emergency repot, and hopefully the rock was, it looks as though the rock was far enough away and self-contained in those two bulbs. Because this one's not soggy and this one's not soggy. So it's just those two. And they'd sort of separated themselves anyway. So hopefully they're, you know, not too far gone, as they say. So that was what I call an emergency repot. Stop what you're doing and do it now. Right, we'll have a clear up. And then I can get the door sealed up and we'll put the hot box on for a few hours and see how that goes. What I do is it's recommended that you don't have fans running with the hot box. Certainly when Lynn first tried hers, when she first got it some time ago, it might even be years ago, I don't know, she got sulphur dust all over her plants, and she stopped using it there and then. But it turns out that it's caused by fans running onto the unit, and it changes the properties of how it works. Instead of just producing a vapour which lifts up with the heat and then disperses, a fan alters the temperature and it's not as warm as it should be, so it's not properly vaporised. That's my theory anyway. So what I do is I turn the circulating fan on, but I leave the heater on to stop it cooling down in here too much. So the heater stays on and that just blows across the floor gently. There's not a powerful fan on the heater, and that just keeps the temperature constant while the hot box is on. And Hurricane Hector gets turned off, but he's not required, because once the hot box gets going, it's producing vapour. So it actually increases the humidity a fair bit, depending on how long it's on. Anyway, talking about it won't get the bugs killed off, will it? So, I mean, I watered all my pots today. I watered the mounts and the holy clay pots and the cooler, shadier pots yesterday, and today I watered everything else. So everything's been watered in here. So it gives me some clear time now, because I've got to film Friday's 2023 Project Orchids video. I'll be filming tomorrow. I'll post it on Friday as usual, but I need to film it tomorrow because I'm going to get Hannah on Friday. So I don't want to be filming on Friday. And I may not film on Saturday either. It's unlikely, so there'll be a bit of a gap until we get back to normal on Sunday. Hannah's going back Saturday evening after the show. So I'll have a normal Sunday, so we'll get back to that then. And yeah, whenever and whatever the next time is, I'll see you then. Bye for now.